Hi, welcome to Daily Dose of Anime Recaps. In this video, we'll be taking a look at the series Word of Honor. A bullied young boy is saved by a man who teaches him kung fu and makes him a warrior. However, one day his master gets kidnapped. Will the boy be able to save him, or will he get captured too? Before we begin, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next episodes. The episode opens up with a narrator telling a real story about a great fighter, Jiangwu, who remains undefeated despite being attacked by a group of 4 great families. He mentions that Jiangwu was so great that no one ever dared to fight against him, and if anyone did, he would defeat them with his extraordinary martial arts skills. The scene then shifts back to the present, where a young boy, Lu Fei-Kui, accuses the old narrator of not telling him a clear story and wasting his time by reciting just poetry for over 2 hours. Hearing this, the storyteller approaches Lu and asks him if he would like to hear a story about a brave man who fought against young talents from the 4 families. Furthermore, the storyteller states that while practicing his skills, he falls sick and gets caught by the Wangs. To the storyteller's bad luck, Lu tells him that he has already heard the story and walks away from there. Moving on, Lu leaves the place with his umbrella and on his way meets an old man who is requesting everyone to walk carefully. The funny part is that after some time, the old man himself slips and falls on the road, breaking his umbrella. Lu notices this, immediately jumps in the air, and catches the umbrella with his sword. The old man is surprised to see Lu jump so easily and land smoothly. Lu then hands over the umbrella to the old man and walks away from there, not before passing a sweet smile to him. Later, Lu can be seen sleeping on the rooftop of a house and thinking about how he can follow his master, Shifu's, order of rescuing Jingyi, the same man that the old man from before was talking about. On the other hand, we are also introduced to 2 other people, Jie Nangong and Zuo Junfeng, who are also there to rescue Ji Qingyi, a boy from the famous Ji family. With Ji Ling captured inside a carriage, seeing this, Lu immediately follows the carriage and manages to enter it secretly. Without wasting any time, he attacks the guards and eliminates them, and informs Ji Ling to remain silent as he is there to help him. In the meantime, Feng and Nangong also arrive there and stop their carriage in front of the soldiers. One of the soldiers threatens Feng to clear the road for them, but Feng does not comply and attacks them with his great move, Strong Wing Blade, surprising the soldiers. He then introduces himself as a student from the school, Palace of Learning. Lu also hears Feng and wonders about what the students from the school are doing there. Following this, Feng starts fighting the soldiers, and using this opportunity, Lu carries Ji Ling on his back and runs away from there. To his bad luck, Feng notices Lu and informs his senior, Jie, about it. Jie then immediately follows Lu while he is running on the roofs and blocks his way. Lu replies to her that he can increase his speed and runs to the other roof. Sadly, despite his trying his best to get away from there, Jie catches up with him every single time. Lu even uses his special technique called Flowers on Horseback and creates several duplicates of him, causing confusion to Jie to find out the real one. Jie is surprised to see Lu using this move so elegantly and appreciates his talent. Meanwhile, Ji Lang is also taken aback, and he asks Lu how he got to know about their family technique. Lu tells him that all of these moves are taught to him by his beloved master, Shifu. While Lu is running with Ji Lang on his back, Lu tries to absorb some powers from Ji to help him heal faster. Soon, he stops at the top of a bridge and puts Ji down. Lu then throws a locket-like thing towards him and asks him to give him a secret paper of kung fu in return. Ji Jing immediately recognizes the locket and asks Lu if he is sent by the 7th uncle to save him. Lu responds with a yes, and after this confirmation, Ji takes out a paper from underneath his socks and hands it over to Lu. Lu becomes very happy to get the paper, but as soon as Ji leaves, Jie arrives there and praises Lu for showing some extraordinary moves earlier. Trying his best to avoid her, Lu tells her that the man she's after is not there. But to his surprise, Jie says that she is there to meet Lu and starts approaching him. Lu tries to threaten her, but she does not stop coming near him and even takes his sword away. Lu panics after not finding his sword in its place. Surprisingly, when Jie notices an emblem on the sword, she immediately returns it to Lu and disappears from the place. The next day, Lu returns to his master's place, and on his way, feels like someone is following him. On the other hand, we are shown Shifu, who is ready to have his meal of the day. Right when he is about to take his first bite, Lu arrives there and places a paper in front of Shifu's face. Enraged, Shifu asks him if he has memorized all the techniques from the paper. When Lu says yes, Shifu then immediately throws the paper on the fire and tells him that now he is the real treasure. Soon, Shifu notices some movements in the nearby bush and deduces that someone from the biggest sect of the world is looking for him. When Lu hears this, he assumes that Shifu is talking about the people from the heavenly palace of Shanglin and tries to run away. However, Shifu stops him and tells him that he needs to fight them. He also tells Lu that the people are searching for him because he had stolen a treasure from them. Seemingly interested, Lu asks him about the treasure, and Shifu replies that the treasure is nothing else than the paper that he burnt some time before, and adds that now Lu is the real treasure. He clears that the treasure was the kung fu that Lu learned from the paper. At last, Shifu suggests Lu run away from there before someone attacks him, and comes to his rescue after he's completed his training at the Palace of Learning. In the following scene, two fighters, Bai He and Bai Long, arrive there and greet Shifu as the master of the Tower of Fogs and Rains, Ji Kanua. Out of nowhere, the two then launch an attack on Shifu, compelling him to pick up his magical broom and tackle them with some of his impressive moves. After Shifu attacks them back, Bai He and Bai Long disappear from there. Witnessing this, Lu assumes that Shifu defeated them, but it's not true. Soon, there arrives another man, Helian Zuye, the master of the Tower of Spring. Moving on, Lu warns Shifu from battling against Zuye because the storyteller has told him that Zuye is much more powerful than Shifu. Agreeing with him, Shifu also tells them that the two masters have never fought before. He then asks Lu to go to the Palace of Learning and decides to go with Zuye to the heavenly place of Shangling. Lu tries to stop him, but Shifu confines him inside a formation of flowers and walks away with Zuye. Right then, some other fighters from Shangling arrive there and try to attack Lu. Luckily, Shifu notices this and protects Lu by causing a large boom of the formation he created before, throwing away the attackers. Lu is surprised to witness all this. Next, Shifu's dog drags a box towards Lu with a backpack inside it. Seeing this, Lu realizes that he should continue learning from the Palace of Learning and must come back to protect his master. He promises Shifu's dog to take care of the place, and also promises to visit him often before walking towards the Palace of Learning. Meanwhile, Bai He and Bai Long can be seen waiting for Lu to follow the map given to him by Shifu and arrive at the location where they are planning to capture them. They wait for Lu the whole day, but sadly, Lu does not arrive there. Instead, a drunken man approaches the place as Bai He and Bai Long are using their invisible technique. He holds them and uses them to provide him with some air and to hang his bottle of wine. Annoyed, Bai He and Bai Long perform a transformation technique in front of the drunkard and jump away from there at great speed. Seeing this, the drunkard thinks that the two were ghosts and starts telling the villagers the same. In the following scene, Lu also arrives at the place where the drunkard is trying his best to tell the villagers about the ghosts he saw. When Lu hears the drunkard mentioning a feather and a horn, he immediately deduces that the ghosts the drunkard is talking about are none other than Bai He and Bai Long. He then quickly runs away from the place after realizing that the place is not safe for him. After walking for a few days, Lu becomes able to see the Palace of Learning on the top of a hill, but he still has a long distance to cover. On his way, he realizes that someone is following him and asks them to come out of their hiding place. As soon as he says so, a group of students from the Palace of Learning, including Feng, arrives there. Feng immediately recognizes Lu as the person who took Ji Ling away from them. Right then, another student, Ji Yuling, arrives there and asks Feng to leave Lu alone. It seems like the two are fighting with each other to take Lu into their group. When they decide to battle and fight for Lu's metal sword, their teacher, Zhao Zheng, arrives there and urges them to take Lu to the classroom after learning that Shifu sent him there. In a flash, Zhao disappears from there, and Yuling and Feng teleport Lu to their school. In the next scene, Yang Long, a member of Shangling, is approached by an eagle with a secret letter tied to its leg. Through the letter, Yang gets to know that Bai He and Bai Long has failed to capture Lu, and that he has entered the Palace of Learning. He then mentions that the people from the Palace of Learning are much more powerful than them, and they cannot afford to make them their enemy. So he suggests the eagle deliver his message to Bao He and Bao Ling that they wait till Lu gets out of the palace and capture him. Back at the Palace of Learning, Lu greets their teacher, Zheng, and thanks him for teaching them a useful lesson. He also mentions that he had been dreaming about reading at this place, and that his dream has finally come true. The teacher just suggests he read properly and walks away from there. Following this, Feng approaches Lu and asks him to join his sect, and even tells him that he will help him to be the best disciple of the academy. However, Lu refuses his offer and returns to his room. Later at night, we can see two students keeping an eye on Lu while he's studying. As soon as Lu goes to sleep, the two students come to his window, and one of them tries to hit him with a poisonous needle. To their surprise, even during his sleep, Lu catches the needle with ease, but somehow falls unconscious. As soon as Lu falls on his bed, the two students carry him to Feng and suggest he take revenge. However, Feng refuses to do so and asks his disciples to return Lu to his room. In the meantime, Feng notices some movements in Lu's body and suggests the other students stay away from him. Suddenly, Lu opens his eyes, and they seem very red, like something is oozing out from them. With this, Lu grabs the one who tried to hit him with the needle and holds him by his neck. Feng somehow manages to separate him and attacks Lu on his own. Surprisingly, Lu blocks Feng's sword and throws him away like nothing. After this, Lu wakes up from the bed like there are no bones in his body and comes closer to Feng, kicking him out of the room. Feng tries to counterattack but fails each time. He then pulls out his sword and starts collecting the powers. Unfortunately, the powers are not strong enough to stop Lu, and when he launches an attack on Lu, he breaks his sword with a single hand. Lu then attacks Feng with all of his power, and when he's about to kill Feng, Yuling arrives there and saves Feng. When the two seniors cannot handle a single junior, Feng tells Xiaoling that if he will be able to defeat Lu, he will accept that he is weaker than Yuling in front of the whole classroom. After some time fighting, Lu starts performing the same moves that Yuling used in front of him before. Seeing this, Yuling gets surprised and wonders about how fast Lu is able to learn the skills. While the two are fighting, a beautiful lady and their senior, Jier Nanong, arrive there and ask them if they should inform the teachers or not about Lu's situation. She lands on their shoulder of Lu, causing him to bury his half-body into the ground. She also asks the students if they did anything to him, but none of them complies. Soon, the senior walks away from there, not before asking the students to be aware of Lu's condition and inform her as soon as he gains some consciousness. In the next scene, Jier Nanong can be seen talking to Feng and asking him to join her to visit the mountains. She also tells him that she wants to find the real person behind their master's deaths. Feng immediately becomes ready to go with her, but at the same time, Jier Nanong asks him to bring Lu with him, as he will be useful. Hearing this, reluctantly, Feng carries the unconscious Lu on his back and leaves the school. Together, they arrive at a horse carriage and put Lu inside. To Feng's bad luck, Yuling also arrives there and tries to go with them despite Feng trying to stop him. However, Jier Nanong suggests they maintain peace, and both of them join her. As soon as they leave in the carriage, we see their master, Zheng, following them. Later, Zheng appears in front of the carriage and casts a powerful spell to stop it. When the horses stop, he approaches the carriage and starts looking into it, but fails to find anyone inside. The scene then shifts to Feng, Yuling, and Jier Nanong hiding in the woods, where the senior sister assumes that Zheng left them to find the murderer of the other masters. Right then, the unconscious Lu gets a vision of his childhood where he is being chased by a group of soldiers. While running away from the soldiers, he asks for help from everyone on the way, but sadly, no one helps him. He also gets injured when he tries to jump over a wall. Fortunately, before the soldiers can attack him, a kind person comes to his rescue and asks him to close his eyes. A few seconds later, when young Lu opens his eyes, he notices the soldiers lying dead on the floor, and the person rescuing him is none other than Shifu. Shifu then gives Lu some hope and assures him that he is there to help him. He carries Lu on his back and takes him to his place, singing a song for him on the way. Back to the present, hearing Jier Nanong sing the same song, Lu gains back consciousness and asks her where she learned the song. Jier Nanong replies that her mother taught her the song. After hearing this, Lu remembers Shifu telling him that a beautiful lady taught him the song. Meanwhile, Feng and Yu Ling have returned to the forest to get their carriage back. Like always, they start arguing, and Yu Ling calls Feng sluggish. Enraged, Feng asks Yu Ling to ride the carriage and he agrees. Soon, they arrive at Jier Nanong's location, and Feng notices Lu talking to her. Without thinking twice, he pulls out his sword and places it on Lu's neck, scaring him. He then accuses Lu of beating the shit out of him while still asleep. Lu apologizes for his actions and tells that his master has taught him a rare kung fu technique that causes him to be violent during his sleep. Looking for help, Lu hides behind Jier Nanong and asks her to protect him from Yu Ling and Feng. However, Jier Nanong does not like the way he is holding her and pushes him away. In the next scene, the teachers of the Palace of Learning are holding a meeting where Zheng tells others that he tried his best but failed to stop Jier Nanong from leaving along with Feng, Yu Ling, and Lu. The other teacher tries to make fun of Zheng, but the head teacher asks them to stop and urges them to go and stop her. To the head teacher's surprise, Zheng and the other teachers mention that Jier Nanong is now an adult and they should not interfere in her decision. On the other hand, Jier Nanong and others arrive at a market named Ba Fang, and Lu becomes happy to see so many people there. Suddenly, when Feng tells him that they are away from the Palace of Learning, Lu wakes up and tells them that he needs to get back because his master is waiting for him to rescue him. Here, he is stopped by Feng, who assures him that they are there to save the masters. Moving on, they stop at the market and head towards a secret place of the Palace of Learning and meet a senior, Luo Qin, who takes them inside the beautiful place. Lu is awestruck to witness the beauty behind the normal door. In the last scene, we are shown the second monk of the Court of Strict Rules, Ji Sheng, enjoying his lavish dinner at a local restaurant and drinking wine. Right then, two other monks arrive there, and one of them tries to fight against Ji. Sadly, he fails to even land a single punch on Ji. The episode ends with the two monks informing Ji that the chief monk is waiting outside to meet him.